Hello? It's been a while. Let me make sure audio is. Oh, yeah, let me wait for my phone to register that I've gone live, and then I'll check audio. Come on, phone, you can do it. Here we go. All right, come on. There we go. All right, testing, testing. Let's wait for my phone to catch up. Come on. Okay, good. Or at least good enough. And let me go ahead and just turn off audio only. And hello. Oh, this is a game that I made myself. I've called Blobby Towers. See, we've got controls, and one thing you guys might be wondering: just A is important to move. However, knowing the problem I had on my computer, I am I am put a secondary key to move, which is Z. It's right below A, so it's in a pretty convenient spot, and it's not being used for anything else. I also got an almanac with every boss in the game. Oh, I forgot to update that one's picture there. But I did update the picture here. And it's fine. We've got all the blobs, all the towers, and their upgrades, the bosses. But let's go ahead and play. And we'll do this map, my favorite. See, here's the enemies. Probably should have gone through like description of what everything does and what everything is first, but it's fine. These are the slime towers. They spill out slime, or they spill out toxic slime in the area around them. And the blobs that stand in it take steady damage. See, I can spam in to send a few waves early, and it gives me extra money. So now I've got a magic tower right here. And this magic tower just shoots out bolts of energy that damage blobs. He's also got the longest range out of every tower. See, I'm sure you guys saw that did some pretty good damage to him. And they'll also say ow from time to time if they get hurt. Hi, Pandy. Oh, I'm in the main VC. You mind dragging me in? I can't exactly swap over to Discord right now.
Hello.
Hello.
I said hello twice and you weren't paying attention.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I figured. I played your game for a little bit. I got to like wave number 25. Because I just could not get money enough to build.
Yeah.
Towers. Yeah.
An interesting little thing. The first 30 waves, I know for certain on this map, and I'm pretty sure with all the other maps, if you can get 2 slime towers down in good positions, you can just spam in till you hit wave 30, and it'll do a heavy amount of damage to most of them. You still need some extra towers around back, but still, but it will do some mass destruction.
I am doing laundry and I am learning the ukulele, so I hope you don't mind me playing the ukulele.
That's fine.
In the background.
Just don't get me copyright struck.
It's not. I'm just learning the basics. I have not yet learned a single song. I just now learned what a fret or a chord is. It's pretty cool. I have an app that's like, you could do it very slowly or you could do it fast. You could go at your own pace. I'm like,
oh great, we got some Shaman blobs snaking through. These guys are immune to magic, so I have to throw this guy down. You can if they have the staff, that little staff, they're immune to magic. If they don't, then they're not. Like this guy isn't, this guy is.
I'm trying to figure out what this is, because like so instead of being 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4, meaning 1 being the top, 4 being the bottom, it's backwards. So 1 being the farthest, 4 being the top. So I have to, when it's showing me how to do it, it's showing me from top to bottom, but it's bottom top. I have to memorize that in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just realized, if you only made it to wave 25, you didn't see some of my favorite blobs. And you didn't even get to meet any of the bosses. For example, these ones that I'm zoomed in on right now, I call them the pod mothers because when they die, they leave behind tiny little pods. Like this one right here, which will regularly produce this pod. Although I believe they're canonically named Steeplings now, but podlings were their original name, so that's what I'm calling them.
Damn it. I got through the first song in practice mode, which means I have to do it in performance when I feel comfortable.
Well, you can't rush into something like this, though. behind you. No. That's good. Last one. Well, on the bright side, you've got a lot of health. Unfortunately, the bosses can take out almost all of it. The Pod Queen. This is one of the few bosses that actually gives me problems.
Big Mama.
Like all pod mothers, she's immune to magic. And she leaves behind her own giant pod on it, which instead of spawning innocent little podlings, will spawn fully grown pod mothers.
Can you even hear it?
The game? Or the ukulele?
Ukulele.
Occasionally I can hear it faintly. Right around here. The farther she gets, the more nervous I am. Okay, please die in this. That shouldn't have happened. There we go. He's gone. Go ahead and start hitting her pot with all we got. On the bright side, the slime seems to just not target problems, which is odd. But as long as there's pod mothers going in and out, the pod will take care of it. And with these turrets focusing their fire on the pod, it should be fine. I don't like what I see up there. Grab that.
Oh, my fingers hurt.
It looks like a bunch of puzzles are getting through. Maybe, let me... Here we go. Okay. Unfortunately, I had to release this boss. Luckily, his stuff is slightly bugged, so his main ability is gone. Just in an effort to protect us from the bugs. Now look at this.
Ah, I got that part. I had an excited crash. Oh, I fucked that up. Without part.
Oh, that mess was a huge hit on my health.
I got it!
On the bright side, if I die here, then no one watching the stream gets to see the Eldritch Nightmare, the final boss. Yeah, recently the game was made much more difficult on Incinerator's request, and haven't really been able to reliably get to a you win screen since. Of course, I don't think he has either, so...
Oh, I messed that one up.
On the bright side, the Pod Queen's pod has fallen. Fortunately, 5% health left. Yep, figured it would be you guys killing me.
Are you playing your kazoo?
Yes.
I almost couldn't hear it.
By the way, to anyone who is watching, you can currently download this game. It's on itch.io. Oh, every time I search up, it's the first link I see when I search up Blobby Towers. I'll type that in Twitch chat. There. Yeah, let's go ahead and go through the almanac so you can get a good explanation on what we're dealing with. First, we've got this guy. Health 52, damage 5. He's melee, so he just charges directly into combat. Move speed 3, which And that's how most of them move. Cost $5. Basically, for the cost, that's the enemy base is given a budget to spend, and then it'll randomly pick blobs, subtracting their cost from its budget.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
And then the cost is also what determines how many points you get for killing the blob and how much money. Damage resistances, none. He's just a simple blob attacking your castle to make some extra coin. Unfortunately, he never makes it past my defenses. Then we've got this guy, HP 75, damage 10. He is also melee. Move speed 3, same as the other guy. Cost 10. Resistance is none. He is an angry blob who is skilled with a sword. See, then we've got this one, HP 90, damage 5. He is melee, and he is slightly slower than the others. He costs $20. Resistances. He takes reduced damage from physical attacks, so that's the cannons and the turrets. And description, he's just a blob wearing armor because he doesn't want to get hurt. And we've got this one, health 42, damage 3.5. He is ranged and he's got an attack range of 10. Move speed of 3. Cost $20. Resistance is none. Description, blob who is skilled with a bow because he has social anxiety. This part was requested by Incinerator.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Then we've got this one, HP 45, damage 10. He is also melee and slightly slower. Costs $40, and he is immune to slime. So those slime towers, he could just pass right through them without getting hurt. Description, a blob parasite partially composed of slime, which is why he is immune. And we've got the shield boys, HP 132, damage 5, and he is also melee, with a normal movement speed. Cost $40. He takes half damage from physical attacks, and description, a blob with a shield. See, then we've got this one, health 102, damage 10, melee and normal speed, cost $60. Resistances takes half damage from physical attacks. Description, a brave knight who fights for honor. And we got this guy, who I pointed out specifically during the previous game. HP 60, damage 5, melee. Movement speed, same as normal. Cost 75. Resistances, he is immune to magic. That's it. That's one of his big things. Description, a blob who studied protection and healing magic, allowing him to regenerate his wounds. Basically, you leave him alone for too long and he'll start healing up. Then we've got this guy, HP 1, damage 50. He is melee and he has a slightly slower movement speed. Cost $100. Resistances, immune to slime, and he's got a small chance to ignore damage from other towers. So basically, slime just can't hurt him, and then the other towers have a chance to just do no damage to him. Description, a mysterious entity, forged from chaos. Little is known about it, aside from the fact that it seems to be attracted to conflict. Then we've got a bit of an armored version of the guy previously, or the slime guy. HP 90, damage 15, melee, and slow movement speed. Cost $100. Resistances, immune to slime, like the other, and he takes reduced damage from magic. Description, parasite that has been fused with a magic stone, granting it a weak shield against magic. See, then we've got this one, the Pod Mother. HP 90, damage 25, melee, and slightly slower. Cost $100. Resistances, immune to magic. A blob race that merged with plant magic centuries ago, causing them to leave replication pods on death. Then we've got this guy, HP 82, damage 2, melee, and slowest movement, one of the slowest movement speeds we got. Cost $140. Resistance is none. Description, A blob who managed to mix magic with machinery, allowing him to construct iron monstrosities. And those iron monstrosities are what's bugged, so I just removed his ability to do that, making him expensive but super weak. Then this guy, the ones that ended up finishing me off. Resistances, or HP, 150. Damage, 20. Melee and movement speed, 3.5, so slightly faster than average. Cost, $200. Resistances, he's immune to slime and highly resistant to physical attacks. Description, dangerous creature that forms in areas where slime fuses with dark magic. His hunger cannot be satiated. Then we've got these guys they're the ones who are bugged. I'm just going to skip past them because they're bugged. And then these, the little podlings. HP 52, damage 5. He's melee and slow move speed. He's but immune to magic. Description, a seed that comes from a pod. It will often grow into an adult soon after birth. Basically, these guys can become pod mothers while on your track, which can cause problems for you. Then the pods. Immune, HP 150, resistances, immune to magic. Description, an immobile pod that regularly creates seedlings. Which, remember, those are the canon names for these guys, but I call them podlings because that's what they've always been called. These are often found at the site that a pod mother died. Now we're in boss territory, which you don't really get an announcement. I'm planning on changing up their pictures here, but not entirely done with the game, and I promised myself I'd release it on today. HP 500, damage 55, melee and a slow move speed. Resistances, takes reduced damage from physical attacks. Description, powerful general with a size that commands respect from his troops. Basically, big boy. Then we've got really big boy. HP 20, damage 1,325. Basically, he will one-shot you no matter what your health is. Melee, movement speed, super fast. Resistance is immune to slime and has a chance to ignore damage dealt to it, which is much higher than the other guy. Description, little isn't known about these creatures other than the fact that they are large, swift, and deadly. Then the giant shield blob. HP 1,250. You have no idea how many times I had to half his health to get him to be killable. Damage 95. Melee, or he is a melee. Move speed 3. Resistances, takes half damage from physical attacks. Description, an ancient race of giants whose power is rivaled only by their rarity. Then the pod queen, here's her actual picture, which I have to put in the other. HP 1,312.5. Damage 262.5. Melee and a movement speed 2.25. So slow. Resistances, immune to magic. Description, a pod mother who has seen its share of decades. Its age allowed it and its pods to be an extreme size. Then we've got a bigger version of the other builder. HP 4,250. Damage 4.2. Which is nothing for a boss. He is melee and he's got a movement speed of 1.5. Resistance is 9. Description, a blob from the future who seems to be more skilled than the rest of his time. Instead of creating drones, he makes large buildings that make them for him. He does not because the drones are bugged. This one, the Eldritch Nightmare. HP, unknown. Damage, unknown. Melee. Movement speed, 3.5. Resistances, immune to slime, reduced damage from magic, and highly resistant to physical damage. Description, a being of pure nightmare. What, Pandy?
I'll be right back.
Alright. A being of pure nightmares. Little is known about these creatures because few who see them ever survive. Then we've got the Pod Queen's pod. HP 1050. Resistances immune to magic. Description: a massive pod formed from the corpse of an ancient pod mother. Its children seem to enter adulthood on birth. We got the factory. And now the towers. Level 1 magic. Damage, alright. Range, alright. And attack speed, decent. Damage type, magic. The tower... Hello? Did I hear someone else's voice? Guess not. A tower that uses arcane gemstones to fire beams of mystic energy at enemies. Arcane gemstones. Then the cannon. Damage decent, range decent, attack speed slow. Damage type physical. A tower with a large cannon on top, which fires explosive cannonballs. Then the slime tower. Damage nothing. Range attack speed 9999999. Damage type slime. A tower that leaks a slime that is toxic to most blobs. Rapid Blaster. Damage very little. Range decent. Attack speed high. Damage type physical. A tower engineered by our finest builders, capable of shooting at a rapid rate. Magic level 2. Damage decent. Range high. Attack speed decent. Damage type magic. The extra gemstones on the bottom enhance the capabilities of the energy beam. Then cannon level 2. The heavier damage decent, range decent, attack speed still low. Damage type physical. The heavier cannon allows more powerful cannonballs and longer ranges. Slime level 2. Damage range low, attack speed 9999999. Damage type slime, obviously. Condensing the slime reduces how far it can flow, but increases the damage. Rapid Blaster level 2. Damage low, range decent, attack speed high. Damage type physical. According to our engineer, the advanced sighting allows vital point targeting and an increased fire rate. What that means, we have no clue. Level 3 magic. Damage high, range high, attack speed decent. Larger gemstones equals more power, apparently. Cannon level 3. Damage high, range high, attack speed low. Damage type physical. We further improved the supports, allowing more weight on the cannon and put some cannonballs close by for lower reload times. Because unless you have these, canonically, you never get to see it, but I'm speaking in like game lore. Blobs are running back and forth between your castle and the cannon to refill it. Then we got the slime level 3. Damage, nothing. Range, low. Attack speed, 9999999. By the way, I would like to say the damage is going up on all the slime towers, just you can't really see it with how low it is. We found out a way to condense the slime even further while spilling out even more. Basically, higher damage and higher range. It seems the key was using slime from living blobs. So these guys are still alive, the ones that are hooked up to the machine. And finally, Rapid Blaster level 3. Damage low, range decent, attack speed high. Damage type physical. The additional sighting and laser targeting allows increased range, fire rate, and vital point targeting. Our new lead engineer who nobody understands. And let's go for a random map. Alright, this one's good. And just spam to wave 30. If you look, this guy's health bar not going down at all because he is immune to slime. Oh, right, I get almost enough for giving just one wave. Yeah. Come on. There we go, cannon. And there's the powerful general. Yeah, you can see these guys start to slip past. And if you're curious as to why they only take away 1 health when their damage is 5, it's because this thing has 500 health. That's a lot of slimy boys making it through. This is one of the more difficult maps, which is why it's so much smaller and stuff is making it through. Also, I'm more trying to show off what I have done than trying to win. And you can see these guys are doing some pretty heavy damage to me already. And there's the little guys who have 1 health, literally. By the way, all the blubs are speaking with my voice. I just recorded it and then turned up the pitch a lot.
Hello.
Hello.
Food was ready, and the laundry was as well.
I'm about to take some pretty heavy damage.
Oof.
Because the little ball guys they do 10% damage.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Luckily, they've only got 1 hit point. And I'm not even joking, so...
That's the map I had.
Yeah. This is actually the first map I made for the game. And it was actually, the path was decided by a random number generator.
Did you do a swirl?
What?
Did you do a swirl at the map?
You mean the spiral map?
Yeah.
I made that one by hand.
Okay. No, because every defense tower game has a swirl map.
Yeah.
The slime damages them as well, right?
Yeah, the slime damages everything in range. Okay. Except for the ones that are immune to slime like these guys.
So I don't know if you want to call this a critique or whatever. But for future defense tower game, it would be cool if you hover over, at least when you're placing down an item or a tower.
You can sort of see its range and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Incinerator's been saying that, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I plan on releasing updates to the game, with extra maps, maybe stuff like that. Potentially tier 4 towers.
Because it's still good.
Yeah.
It's just, for my brain, I would like to see the range so that way I know where to put. To properly put. I don't want to put 2 stuff together.
Well, let me just go ahead. See, this is... Yeah, this is probably the best map to show it. A basic way to think of it, the slime towers always have them next to the path. The rapid blasters, you can have them next to it or on corners, because they've got a pretty low range. The cannons, at level 1 you want them next to it, but by level 3 you can have them like up back here. The magic towers have the range of snipers. At level 1, they're the only ones who can do 2 blocks. But level 3, you can get like 3 and 4 blocks away.
And how do you upgrade them? Because I was trying to upgrade them.
You just click on the base of the tower.
Hmm.
Did you read the controls thing?
I did, but it just wouldn't.
Yeah, because half the time when I gave this to someone when it was still in its alpha and beta stages, they would just go straight to play and not read controls.
Is that what vital?
And then just one of the first questions, how do I place towers?
I straight up read the instructions. That was the first thing I did, because I was like, what if I could change it from... What's it called? From full screen to Windows mode, which that's another thing.
Yeah, that I have no idea how I might do. At least the like hover over a tile and you can see what the range. I've got theories on how to do that, but just the Windows thing, no clue. Of course, for a long time, having it save the high score was the same way. No idea on how to do that. But one YouTube video later, and I could close out this game right now, and it would save this high score. In fact, let me go and do that.
Because it's just, I prefer playing games in Windows modes, because I don't have a second monitor, so...
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. The range and just, that's about as much. My critique, which is not much of a critique.
Yeah. Well, let me look for a certain map. I actually put in a bit of a hidden map, which you can only get through the random. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Here it is.
How many maps are there?
They're counting this one. There are 6, but this is a special map, and when it is selected, only the ball blobs are immune to slime on it. So the blue ones, they still take damage from slime. The black ones still do too. And if you look, this map is literally made for the slime tower.
This is your first game, right?
Yeah, this is the first game I have made, or I have published. I have made others, but just they are way too low quality. I wouldn't even say they're in their beta stages yet.
Understandable.
And pretty much every designer, or game developer, game designer, they have those games. Just I wasn't sure what I was doing when I was making this. I was just looking around. This thing will never see the light of day.
It's okay, because I had Minecraft maps that were like that.
Yeah.
Hell, even my first map should have never gone past the beta stages. It was so bad.
There's the first boss.
I wonder if Spyro's okay.
Hmm?
I wonder if Spyro's okay.
Ah.
Because he should have arrived by 6. But he was gonna drop his co-ride. Well, not co-ride, but the person who went with him.
I'm sure he's fine. By the way, Incinerator, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but I blame you for the fact that Slime Towers no longer target bosses. By the way, I know it doesn't look like this guy's going too fast, but yeah, he's blocked by the others, and he is unable to roll over them, unfortunately. But if he wasn't being blocked, you could see him just dash. Also, this is not a good map for dashing because of all the turns. But trust me, he is Speedy Boy. Spamming slime towers on this map is fun. Because you can just see these guys making it through. Like, he's just, this shouldn't be hurting me. This is one of my key things. And then just, goodbye. Because the main reason you don't spam slime towers everywhere is because of how many things are immune to it. But on this map, do as you please. And to balance it out, you get much less points on this map. Guy leaving behind the pod, which is removed almost instantly by the slime. There goes 20% of my health. And there's the Pod Queen. Go ahead and place down a cannon right there. Yeah, one thing about the cannons, when they shoot at a long range, their accuracy plummets. Of course, their whole thing is they're good at crowds, so it becomes much less noticeable. Guess we have a cannon here now. Destroy! Quickly! They're good at this! They're really... These guys are really dangerous when they make it this far. Which is why the Pod Queen is so dangerous. Her immense health allows her to get past the bulk of your defenses. And then when you kill her, this happens. Nice. Okay, hopefully no more damage. Hey, buddy. You know, maybe on this map you guys will get to see the final boss. He's nowhere near as intimidating on this map, but still, you can at least see what he looks like. And he's probably so good at getting to the end. This guy's got a lot more health than I thought he did. Just as easy to misjudge when they don't have health bars, because those things were added very recently. Yeah, looks like Hank, this guy's looks like old Hammerhead's making it through. Which makes me wonder, how's the Ocean's Nightmare gonna fare against me if old Hammerhead can do it? Oh, right. He does almost no damage. I like the idea, just someone who doesn't know this game, hasn't looked through the almanac, gets him. He's making it super far. And they're just, how much damage is this guy going to do to me? Am I going to lose the game? They're just not even a full % of your health. Just, wait, what? Because me knowing that he does no damage, I was like, alright, this is going to hurt. Because because I know that he does no damage because I put that in. But at the same time, it wasn't registering in my brain at the time, so I'm just, alright, this is going to hurt. And then just, wait. Oh, right! Of course, his whole thing is the drones or the factories that spawn the drones. Which, I already explained, the drones are bugged, so can't do that. Are you guys okay? I think something's wrong. Now I am realizing I probably shouldn't have placed everything so close. Never mind, everything's working now. And say hello to the Eldritch Nightmare. Who is definitely making it through this. On the bright side, I'm getting a new Ice 4. I might actually be able to tank the hit. Can't remember exactly how much damage he does. Tank the hit. Tank the hit. Tank the hit. Yeah, anyone who's able to kill this guy, let me know. because I think I gave him a bit too much health. But I won. Made it to wave 100. I'm gonna go grab I'm gonna go grab some ice cream real quick though. So, don't have any debt. Don't have my dev keys to give myself infinite money. We'll let you look at social anxiety. I has returned. Is there anyone with me at this moment? It would seem that is a no. Yep, no one is with me at the moment. Let's go ahead and head back. Let's go with this map. This one's also pretty good for slime, but most of the good spots are back here. This one was semi-randomly generated. Basically, I was like randomly putting stuff down, but at the same time, it wasn't a random number generator, so still a little bias. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely not as good at this game as I usually am right now. Because normally I can at least defeat this guy on this map, but I feel like I'm just like partially burnt out on this game because I've been working on it for so long and pretty regularly bug testing, like just playing around with it. So I feel like I'm kind of burnt out on it at moments, but still wanted to show it off, play it a little for the stream. Especially when you consider the fact that I've been playing this, or I've been playing and working on it for over 6 months now. You know what? I've got an idea. Let me... Yeah, now you guys shouldn't be able to see anything. I am going to download the oldest version of this game that I have access to. because when I was developing it, I tried to regularly put in updates in a Google Drive I had access to. Okay. Here you go. Lobby tower stuff, game builds. While I'm doing this, I just want to go ahead and say, this game is on itch. Just friendly reminder: this game is on itch.io. It's completely free to download and play. I definitely would not charge money for that kind of game because I don't want to trash myself. I know that's like not something you usually want to do, but I don't, I am not the best at game development at the moment. I don't think I could hit I don't think I could make a game and feel good about charging money for it. Right. Yeah, this is definitely going to throw me off to do because this is like old version of the game. And a good amount of the style has changed since then. Down to the texture of the grass, really. All right, let's go ahead and extract. Come on, computer. Yep, put it on my desktop. Now I am going to warn you guys. The game you are about to see is crap. Just just know that. Let's go ahead and turn on the screen capture again and load this up. Just had how much I have in the tower I was placing available at the time. Oh, I get unsettled every time. Oh no, no, I don't have my A key. Oh no. Screwed myself. Yeah. By the way, the audio on here is not broken. I did not have any audio in at the time of this version. Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that anymore. Hold on. Since I can't exactly go left in that version because made that long before I had my A key troubles, so didn't even think to put in a backup. Here, I'll set up right here. Yeah, say hello to the old Slime Tower model. Obviously the prototype version. And he costed a lot more than he does now. Mostly because he was a lot stronger at the time. Oh, there's something in his range. Hello. it's cool seeing some of the models that didn't change. Like this guy.
Good night.
Hello? Bandy, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just quiet.
Yeah. What happened?
I ended up getting slightly bored of my game, so I decided to pull up the oldest file on it that I have access to. Which, absolute garbage. But at the same time, kind of interesting to see some of the stuff that never changed. For example, this guy, his model is the exact same.
Hold up. Be right back. Give me a second. Hold up.
Okay. I wonder if I had even implemented the ability to lose at this time, because you don't have a health. The waves are definitely getting stronger. Once I get enough money, I'll show you guys what the old cannon looked like. Alright, you know what? Well, let me just close it out. By the way, you couldn't even press escape to close it in this version. I have to Alt F4 whenever I want to close out the game. Here, we'll put a cannon there. Say hello to Prototype Cannon. And even more horrifying, Prototype Magic Tower. Magic Tower is much different than how it is today. He got almost a complete rework. Look at him. Do you see what he's shooting? Little seeking missiles. And then there's the cannon. Inaccurate as ever. One interesting bug we used to have with the Magic Tower, actually the reason it doesn't attack like this anymore, during the game's development phase, especially during the later waves, which can't really skip to them right now because I didn't have any dev keys at the time. But during the later waves, or really just when it was laggy in general, which, again, during the later waves, he would fire his shots and they would only make it like this far before dying. Because his missiles are on a timer before they destroy themselves.
That has absolutely nothing quotable or memeable about it.
Ow. So mad at you. Grass is streaming.
Hi, Vital.
He says hi, by the way.
Oh no.
Okay. Hey. Okay, am I mute? Okay, I'm not muted. Hello.
Hello.
Did you read the message?
Yep.
They just now left.
That's an oh no moment, though.
He's like, I warned you. I'm like, yeah, literally, like right where you guys were at the door. That's not a warning. That's not warning. No joke. He literally sent that message at 9:06. they were here at 9:10, or they just came in and came out. That's not warning. That's just like, oh, hey, hi. By the way,
Yeah.
he brought pizza from Chicago, though.
Maybe he can be forgiven.
No, he said he was gonna bring it anyway.
Bandit, just how do you like the old tower models though? Like each and every one of these was prototype.
I like them.
And
They do.
they definitely have a bit of an odd art style, or an odd style, but still cool.
You told me once. Mm. Hold up. Okay. I'm gonna hit the road the next time. Just letting you know, I'll stop by the place before you. Okay, but that's not like she's gonna come in. That just means you're gonna stop by and drop something off. Ow! No, that's on you. Fuck you. Sorry, Chris.
It's fine. Your
Don't
your
mean-
real life troubles come above the stream. I totally agree. And one interesting thing about this version of the game, the slime towers actually did percent health damage to the blobs. So instead of doing the steady damage they do now, they would take a percentage of the blob's health and do that as damage. Oh, and you can see some of the classic cannon tower bugs. Just a turn and randomly changing where it wants to look at. Not matching him with the cannon at all.
It's a long song. Oops, shit.
I wonder if this was when I still had the barricade idea. Because I was originally planning on having little barricades you could place down that the blobs would have to destroy. It was! Look at this thing!
What?
I've got a little barricade, and they're actually trying to take it down.
Oh, nice.
Goodbye, barricade.
You said you could barely hear it, but you could hear it every so often. The ukulele, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Is it annoying or?
No, it's fine. It has some much needed sound effects because this version of the game has literally no sound.
You planning on putting sounds?
The game that I'm playing, or the version that I'm playing. Because remember, this is like this isn't even alpha. This is the very first build I ever made.
You still have barricades, so you took it out.
Yeah, I took those out a long time ago.
Why did you take it out?
You see these vertical strips of path?
Yeah.
I couldn't get the barricades working with them. No matter what I did, they would always place the same way they place on these horizontal bits. They would always face to the right, no matter what I did. So I ended up just removing the ability to place these and thinking, alright, I'll fix it later, I'll fix it later, I'll fix it later. And then I just removed the ability to place barricades in general. I always loved placing barricades like right here, though. See. Let me pick a different version. You know what, Pandy? Pick a number 1 through 15.
8.
Alright. Lobby Towers version 0.8. Download. Trust me, Google, you don't need to scan these things for viruses. I made them. I'm not going to put a virus on my own computer.
You could.
If I was going to put one on, then I would probably use something that doesn't scan for viruses. Or hide it so that it wouldn't be detected by the scan. Alright, Lobby Towers version 0.8. Let's go ahead and work on extracting it. I have no idea what I didn't have in this one. Let's go ahead and open it. Alright. And turn on display again. Lobby Towers. Alright, yeah, this is where I had the old main menu. Let's see, play. Ah, yes, the four maps. We'll just go with the classic. And I did have sound in this one. Did I have? I did not have the Z movement though. Let's see what? Yep, I had the key to lose. Let's see, what else do I have? Yep, had the key to skip the waves. It's already lagging. I forgot how much of a laggy mess as these earlier ones were. When you spammed waves. Yeah, I believe this was after I changed up the slime tower's damage. So these ones don't do percentile damage. Look at the horde I spawned.
Oh my god.
See, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I had removed barricades by this point. I didn't implemented upgrades though. Let's see, were we still using the semi-prototype Rapid Blaster model? Because the Rapid Blaster model actually went through 2 changes. One to curse. Okay, we have current. Oh, I forgot how loud it was. Luckily, it's not too loud, but just compared to everything else, it's loud. And yep, this was before I had implemented bugs. But not by much. Did I have dev keys? No, I did not have my dev keys. Dev keys are essentially cheats that developers use.
The what?
Dev keys. Basically, like, say I wanted to test something with money, but I didn't want to put in all the effort to grind just for a test. I could direct, say, the M key, so that when I press it, I get $999. That's the dev. Oh yeah, when I had the just giant green blob up around back. Okay, Spiral is not one to do without an A. I think this one, yeah, this one will be fine. Let's just position here. There. Okay, I still didn't have escape to close the game. I had to Alt F4 again. Yeah, I think I might go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If so, find a way to let me know. Maybe try downloading my game. You're not going to get all those early versions, but you'll get what was seen at the start of the stream. And please let me know if you like it, or if you like the game, if you think there's something I should like improve, change, because I will be updating it as time goes on. I don't plan on just upload and then abandon. Yeah, if you have any ideas, don't hesitate to let me know. If you like something that was in like the earlier versions, like the barricades that you think should be brought back, again, let me know. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Wait, on. Actually, I think Banana might be streaming. Let me just.
No, it's not streaming.
Banana's not streaming.
No, she shouldn't be streaming.
Okay, yeah, she's not. All right, Banana. I'm pretty sure Banana was streaming like at the start of this, but not anymore. Yeah, just bye.